Mr. Speaker, there is currently a proposed ballot measure in my state of California to impose the nation's first ever wealth tax. And in response to this proposal, you are already seeing an exodus from California. Because while the measure won't be presented until November and wouldn't take effect until next year, the language of it ensnares anyone who was a resident of California until January 1st of this year. So it would actually try to apply itself to former residents. Now, California already has the highest income tax of any state in the country, the highest gas tax, the highest overall tax burden. But a wealth tax is something unique, because a wealth tax is not merely the taxation of earned income, it is the confiscation of assets. So they're saying it's just for billionaires. But of course, it starts with billionaires, and then they continue to lower the threshold, ensnaring more and more people. But even for billionaires, presenting a 5% tax on all of your assets is problematic because, number one, it requires actually having liquid assets amounting to 5% of one's net worth. But number two, what you're already seeing happen is entrepreneurs and job creators are simply leaving the state to avoid this unique penalty. Now, we already have the highest unemployment rate of any state in the country in California. So it really doesn't help that now the state is causing even more job creators to leave the state. But what's especially threatening about this is that our state's tax structure is essentially a house of cards, because you have, even the governor acknowledged in his State of the State yesterday, you have a system that is incredibly volatile, where the top 1% of earners account for 50% of the tax revenue. And so if you have this wealth tax that's suddenly going to cause the highest earners not to want to have anything to do in California, the state's finances will collapse. The entire house of cards will come tumbling down. This is not to mention the myriad constitutional problems with this proposal, not least the idea that they're going to try to apply it to former residents. It also isn't to mention the problems of administrability, which is why if you look to other countries that have tried to impose some form of a wealth tax, they have quickly rescinded the policy because it turned out to be a disaster. So I will be fighting against this latest, misguided, insane proposal in every way that I can, and that includes using the legislative authority that we have here in Congress under clauses such as the Commerce Clause to prevent a renegade proposal like this from, at the very least, ensnaring taxpayers who have already went to other states. California has, for too long, gone down the road of overtaxing its citizens, overregulating its businesses, overburdening its citizens, but this would simply be a bridge too far. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.